This one is frustration, so discharge by frustration. This is most students sort of enjoy this, but it can be sometimes hard to establish. So usually contracts need to be fulfilled, but they may be discharged by frustration. Now what that means is something comes along between the agreement, the contract, and stops the contract from being able to be performed. And usually there are three key ways in which this happens. So either an intervening event makes the performance impossible, like the console burning down or the drummer getting ill, as is Taylor called when the condor barren nights, or if performance becomes illegal, so the government requisitions grain and you can no longer sell grain, so you're not breach your contract because it's illegal to fulfill your obligations. I know you've seen problem questions whereby there's dangerous sports which become illegal, so no one can go and view them. You've also got the contract becomes commercially sterilised, so the reason you had the contract, for example, to go see a concert or coronation, has changed, and so you don't no longer want the hotel room because the only reason you had it was because it was, I suppose the only reason you had it was to go view the concert. But let's say you go to Paris to see a concert, you get a hotel room. You might argue that's not frustrated because there's plenty of things to do in Paris besides the concert. So it has to be radically different from the original contract. Now frustration, you need to be aware of this. If it's self-induced, if you made the choice in any way, like for example, if you know there's multiple boats that you've not got contracts for, you can't say, well, I've got a license for 3 boats, and so the other 2 it's frustrated. Just not. You made the choice of which of the boats that you chose to use your license for, so self-induced. It means you cause it yourself. The contract becomes more onerous or expensive, so it's not going to be it's not going to be frustration just because now the issue is that you are no longer going to make money from it. It's tough. That's a bad bargain. That's all. Or if there's a foreseeable risk of the frustrating event. So if that dangerous sport's been in the news and they're looking to ban it, and suddenly they ban it, that's not frustrating. You knew it was going to happen. Or hard to foreseeable. It was foreseeable that it might happen. Now, the effects of frustration are this. So any money you pay before the frustrating event is recoverable. Usually this is in the form of a deposit. If you owe money, so let's say the balance, then you don't have to pay that anymore. But this is a good example of balancing interests, because what you then do is the other party may recover expenses incurred. So if they've spent money on advertising, getting people to do jobs to make sure the concert is going to go smoothly, then of course you need to make sure that you get some money back for that. Or if they gained a valuable benefit, then you need to pay a just sum for it. So the Gamerco and ICM is about the Guns N' Roses concert in Madrid, and again the problems with the stadium. Now what's important when you do this is to do this in this order. Okay, it's going to be one of the frustrating events. It's going to be one of the possible issues with frustration, usually foreseeability. But keep going. That the examiners want you to discuss all of the events, all of the torts and contract elements and so on. So do that. Conclude at the end if you think it's not going to be liable, but make sure you go through all elements. Now for this one, we've got this kind of applying these remedies. They're very specific to this, to this act, and to make sure you use it.